Hey everyone, welcome back. This is the last part of my 3-part series on testing out food delivery service subscriptions, and today I'm talking about Hungryroot, a vegan meal delivery service. So if you'd like to see what I thought of Hungryroot, keep on watching. Okay, so Hungryroot is something that I've seen advertised on Instagram, on Facebook. It kept coming up, and I have a friend who was vegan who we were talking about it, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna give it a shot. I am not vegan, I am not vegetarian, I'm an adventurous eater, so I like vegan things. So I thought I was a perfect person to try it out. So just so a little bit of background on Hungryroot. Again, it's vegan. They have 2 options for you, and that is the starter set, and it includes 4 meals, 2 servings each of those meals, 2 sides, snacks, and sweets. And then you also get the Good Life, which is 5 meals, 2 servings per meal, plus 5 sides, snacks, or sweets. So there is a lot of customization in this. I was really surprised in how much you got to choose from. It was almost like this puzzle, because it was one of those things that if it had 3 meals, 2 sides, whatever, it all kind of had to add up, because there are some meals that are 2 servings per meal, and there are some meals that are only 1 serving. So it kind of was like when you're choosing things, you kind of had to make sure it all just kind of fit within how many items you can get for your plan that you picked. I know that's a little confusing, but basically because they have so many options and there are things that are considered sides, 2 servings, 1 serving meals, it kind of will kind of tell you what more you can pick to make your box full of what you are supposed to be getting. All of these are fresh vegan meals under 500 calories, so I think that is really cool. They're supposed to be rich in vitamins, fiber, and healthy fats. They're ready to eat, or you can cook them in 5 minutes or less. Really limited cleanup, I'm sorry, in usually 10 minutes or less. They're stovetop, they're microwavable, and they're naturally fresh for 5+ days. And you can skip weeks, customize. So they have things like cookie dough, salads, pad thai, beet noodles, cookie doughs, there's gazpacho, eggplant bolognese. These are some of the recipes. You can get an idea of some of these vegan recipes. Thai coconut curry peas, a kale power bowl, superfood salad, lentil salad, cauliflower rice, brownie bites, vegetable curry, pasta salad. I mean, you guys, there's snickerdoodle dough. I mean, your options are endless, and so I found that was really easy to kind of maneuver the website. I feel like I had a lot of choices, especially for someone who wasn't vegan. I found some 2 servings per meal, and I found some single servings. I tried some desserts, so I think that the variety was really good. That things that you know won't get bored of easily. You could have a lot of variety, and I thought that was really cool. And the whole it was going to be fast, easy, and convenient really spoke to me. So let's get on to the unboxing and the recipes. Okay, so it's time for the first meal of Hungryroot. Now, typically I show you guys me unboxing. Ooh, the lighting's going in and out. Sorry, I look awful. There we go, showing you the unboxing. But my Hungryroot came when I was on vacation, and I had my neighbor grab the box and put everything in the refrigerator. She left the box because I was like, just leave it so I can kind of see how it's packaged. So I thought I'd kind of show you really quickly how it came and things like that. There's a pile of box. Sorry if you can hear that playing. So basically it just kind of came just like any standard thing. It's 100% recycled plastic. It's a 90% unusable plant fiber. Just those place recycled cotton interior in the trash and recycle film with a plastic bag. So basically this is stuff that can't be recycled but is repurposed again, which is really cool. So you throw this away and then obviously you can recycle this. So because there's no meat, because this is a vegan thing, it was probably just ice packs. So the box is really cute, keep refrigerated. So I'm going to show you kind of how everything comes. So basically you get this breakdown of everything that was in your box with the quantities. The one thing about Hungryroot, obviously I probably explained this in the intro, is that you can pick a variety of things. It's not like 3 meals. You can have some meals that are 2, some that are 1, some that are like more snacky. There's cookie dough, so you kind of get a lot of variety and you get a lot to choose from. And then it breaks it down here of like, these are the items that were in there and then which ones make up the meals, and then the page number. Now the page number is based on this catalog. So you get this catalog and then it tells you the page number and which you like that's the recipe. And now what I'm noticing is that they're really easy. Like this is kind of like not a lot of work, and again there are a lot of meals that are like 2 people meals and then ones that are just 1, and so that's really nice because good for, you know, single servings, which is what I'm gonna do for my first meal. I just got back from vacation. That's why I look like a hot mess. I mean, I kind of always look like a hot mess when you see these videos. Which is the one really easy recipe. So I'm gonna show you my fridge, how everything kind of comes. So you get things packaged, like this is like such a good amount, which I'm really happy about. And then like the different melodies come in this. I mean, you could take them out of these packages, I'm assuming, so those don't get I don't know, messed up. And kale pesto, like dressings, you get like cashew cheddar. There's tofu. This looks really good. This is like a vegan box. I am not vegan. You're getting a little tour of my thing, my refrigerator. Here's like the cookie dough. I'm excited to try that out. Snap peas. This yuba noodles, which is what I'm gonna make right now. And then again, some more like different melodies and things like that. So one of the things I was gonna talk about is that I did not get one of the things that was supposed to be in my order. So I ordered 2 different kinds of cookie dough. One was snickerdoodle, I think that one, the other is chocolate chip. I didn't get the snickerdoodle one. So I just emailed them. They were really kind, really apologetic, and they'll credit the amount which that was worth to my next order. They weren't gonna resend it, which is fine. It was just like a cookie dough. And again, they were very kind about it. I got a very quick response, so that was just really good to know. For these noodles, let's see, it just basically told me to go to page 24, and like it says, like these are ready to eat. There's no like cooking. This is like a 1 portion, perfect because I'm starving. My mom's gonna come over for dinner to do one of the other meals. So all it's gonna do is it says 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I never do exactly what they tell me to. Like, who needs a tablespoon? So I'm heating up some olive oil right now, and then we just open up the package, and it says like 5 to 7 minutes. You can eat it cold because it says like ready to eat. You can dig in or warm up. So this is really nice. Already kind of like based on what I've seen, I feel like this is really good for lunches. Like if you don't have a lot of time and you wanted to have something really quick, I feel like it'd be so perfect for that kind of thing. So dump it in. Again, 5 to 7 minutes. I'm sure you could put it in the microwave. I prefer not. Kind of what it looks like. Okay, so I finished cooking. Literally took like 3 or 4 minutes, not even 5. And it's one serving, which is really nice, and it's only 230 calories. So that's really, really good. I'm not vegan, but again, I eat a variety of food, and as long as it tastes good, I'm all about it. So I'm gonna try this. One of the noodles fell overboard. So, let me taste. It's hot. I'm seriously so good. So good. It is real. I don't know what these noodles are made out of. Oh, so good. And it's a really good portion. Like, I'm hungry, but I'm gonna have dinner in a few hours. It almost kind of tastes like eggs. Here, this is what it looks like. I like it a lot already. Finish eating this, and again, my mom's coming over, hopefully. I should kind of see what she wants to make. We'll let her choose. The cheesy chickpea broccoli casserole looks really good. So good. All right, see you in my next meal. My hair hurts. My head hurts. Okay, so I'm fixing my hair. My mom decided that she wanted to try the Green Goddess lentil salad. I'm gonna turn to page 17. Let's see. This is super easy because it says it's ready in 2 minutes. Each serving is only 240 calories. So we're gonna make the whole thing. And this is what it looks like. It looks so good. So we're gonna try this out. Or mom hers. Here, mom.
It's delicious.
This is so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's what?
Very, very good. It's delicious.
Well, I think Lola likes it too. Try it. Focus. Oh, that was good. That's
good.
really good. It's so easy too. I'm really liking this so far. Both recipes have been really good. Really healthy. And everything's under 300 calories, so even if you ate both portions, it's still like a really good calorie total. So this is a win.
It's a winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So good. Okay, see you in my next recipe. All right, so we are back for another Hungryroot recipe. So today I'm gonna do the broccoli cheese casserole. It should be ready in 25 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on that. Okay, so for this recipe, it has the broccoli already pre-riced. So I'm gonna throw that in this, it's a 9x9 or an 8x8, an 8x8 dish, and the oven is preheating to 425. This says to add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil and salt and pepper to season it. That's a huge range, but I actually really like that. I try and use less oil, so I'm probably going to use about enough oil to just get all of it coated. So we'll see what that turns out to be. Okay, so here is what it looks like. I added 2 tablespoons because I really did want it to get all of it, and there's a lot of broccoli in there, and this is 2 servings, it says. So yeah, I mean, that's 2 generous portions. For me, this probably be 3 or 4. So I'm gonna put this in the oven for about 15 minutes, and then I'll show you the next step. Also, I have to say, there's a few things that I'm kind of noticing right now, is that one, I got this on Wednesday and it's now Monday. I'm so lost on days right now. And that broccoli is still incredibly fresh. It's not even beginning to turn brown or slimy or smell even remotely bad, which I think is really good, meaning that it's really fresh, because there's a lot of fresh vegetables and I've been gone and been eating out a lot, so I haven't had as much time at home as I normally do, and everything's staying really fresh. Now I did kind of cheat, you guys. I got home really late on Saturday and I had a really late lunch, but I got hungry and I'm sorry, I could not film it this late at night, but I'm sitting in my refrigerator. I did the snap peas and the tofu. You guys, this was so good. So basically I took about a teaspoon and a half of olive oil, and all you did was throw these in, and I really let them get browned and really cooked through. And so once those were cooked through, you added this tofu, which was marinated so well. It was so good. All you do is to put this in, break it up, and then you're good to go. And it was so yummy. I actually ate the whole thing. It was so good. It took maybe 10 minutes, and that was just because I really got those, sorry, the sun is just weird. I really got those snap peas really browned up. If I make it again, which I have another thing to make it, although I might give it to my mom, I will show you. But what I'm noticing is that I have a lot of food. I still have another meal on top of the one I just showed you. So I have another tofu meal, this broccoli meal that I'm making, and then another Brussels sprout meal. So it's a lot of food. So it's just a hard time for me. I'm putting this in the oven right now. It's been a little rough because I've been out of town more often than I thought, and I really do want to get through these recipes. So you know, so I'm gonna let that cook and then we'll continue on to the next steps. Okay, I think that I was acting like I was recording, but I wasn't. So if I wasn't recording, let's start this again. I just pulled out the broccoli. My house smells disgusting, like cooked broccoli. I like making broccoli, but the smell is real. I'm just putting on the cashew cheddar. It says 4 tablespoons. This is more than 4 tablespoons. But this is, you know, where I'm at. I just dolloped it on and then spread it out. And so we're gonna put this back in the oven for 10 minutes to let this melt and brown. Just looking at this, even just looking at this right now, what I would maybe do next time is do the broccoli, then put the garbanzo beans on, and then the cashew on top of it. So it's more like a casserole, and those would be melted and warm through. But once you like reheat it, it should be fine. And again, matter of preference. And yeah, I don't want to burn my tongue. It's pretty good. I wasn't too sure, but it's good. I like it. Really good, actually. It took me a minute to kind of get used to that cashew cheese because I've never had it before. Or I don't think, I mean, I probably have had it before. It's good. And that medley of garbanzo beans, because it's like seasoned, it really does kind of add that extra dimension of flavor besides just the cheese and broccoli. It's good. I thought about hungry, but here I am. So eating it. Okay, so another good one. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of thinking this may not be my favorite, but it's good. Alright, so I'll see you in my next recipe. Okay, so I am going to be showing you the almond chickpea cookie dough. It's really, really good. I've already tried it, and I already have a little bit of some feedback on what works best. You can eat it raw, or you can eat it obviously baked. I didn't care for it raw. So I just preheated the oven to 350, and then it wants you to spray your sheet. I put foil down, and then I'm gonna make one big cooker. That's all I have left. And then, so this is kind of just what it looks like. So I found if you put it in the oven right away, it comes out better, and it's almost kind of like, I put it in at 350 the first time. Ooh. And then did the right amount of time, and it came out like, you have to let them cool. So I let them cool, but then they came out like almost like a, just like it was still like raw dough, which is fine to eat, but it, like, you really couldn't pick it up like a cookie. It just kept falling apart. So my second batch, I put it in, actually I just did that wrong. I put it in a little bit lower, so let me just adjust that temp to 325, and then put it in the oven as it's preheating, which gave it a little bit more time to cook. And then it almost smelled like it was beginning to burn, but it wasn't. It's dark because it's hard to tell, but I would just kind of touch the top of the cookie until it kind of felt like it was cooked all the way through. And then I took it out and let it cool, and I just feel like it had more of a cookie consistency. It was still kind of like that fudgy kind of like raw stuff in the middle, but I could definitely pick it up and eat it. So I'm using a toaster oven, so basically the gist of it is, for the cookie dough, I put the heat down to 325, put it in while it was preheating, and then I think it works better. So I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. I thought I'd give you a quick check-in with the cookie. Ooh, it's definitely getting there. So it's just starting to smell a little bit burnt, and I just figured that it still needs to go a little bit. So it's been on probably close to 15 minutes. I'm gonna give it another like 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, so here is the cookie out, and it's definitely firm. I mean, it's still pretty like you know, squishy, but the whole top part is cooked. It definitely, again, smelled a little bit burnt, but it will taste good and it will hold up if this is more of like what I had done the second time. And again, it ended up being like close to 15 to 18 minutes, so it did take quite a bit of time to cook. So I'm gonna let this cool off, and then I'll kind of show you what it looks like when it's time to eat. So you can pick it up in one piece. Before, when I followed the directions, you could not pick it up, it fell apart. So it has the crunchiness, but it's still like kind of a raw state inside of him, but that's good, you guys. So I feel like kind of with the baked goods, you have to kind of play around with it, but once you get it right, they're really, really good. Okay, so I'm making my final recipe, which is the shaved Brussels sprouts, kale pesto. I'll turn on the light. The lighting's kind of bad. This looks like a relatively easy meal. So the first thing you have to do is heat up a pan with some olive oil, and then I'm going to open up the Brussels sprouts and saute them. It says for 2 minutes, so let's do that. Let's try this out. Okay. Not my favorite. I almost would have said that it probably would have been better with just the Brussels sprouts and the kale. That garbanzo bean mix is really acidic-y, so it kind of gives that acidic taste to it, but still good. I actually think it would be really good cold versus warm. So I'm gonna let that cool off. I'll probably have this with dinner as like a side dish. Okay, so Hungryroot was interesting. I really liked it at first. I thought it had some really good recipes. Some of the salads were so good. Like the first salad I had with my mom, we loved that. Like I almost had wished like she wasn't home or wasn't over so I could eat the other half to myself. But yeah, that was really kind of cool. The ones that were like put in the microwave were really easy. Everything was super fast. I really liked that. I think the desserts were really good. You did kind of have to play around with the directions if you wanted cookies that were like, if I followed directions, the cookies fell apart, but if I kind of like altered it a little bit, I had better luck with it. So I think that some of those things like vegan baking, you have to kind of like alter things, temperatures and stuff like that to kind of get the consistency right. And I think that's just in general with like vegan cooking, and when you're using ingredients that aren't, you know, that are vegan, that sometimes there is a little bit of a learning curve to that. One thing I thought was kind of interesting is that they didn't really customize like, here are your recipes with your stuff. Like it's a book of every single recipe for like that week, and so it would tell you what page number to go to, but that was a little bit tedious. I kind of would rather just have like the recipe right there so I could easily access it, or on like the one single servings, like just heat up. Like I think that putting that on like the package would have been sufficient. I just feel like that's a lot of like wasteful paper. One thing that I thought was really cool is that there are a lot of pre-packaged things in there, like the tofu, and that didn't expire for like a few months, like maybe not a few months, like a month. So if I didn't use it, I could save it for later. So I kind of made sure I looked at the expiration dates to see when things expired so that I could use it again later on if I didn't necessarily want to use it at that point. One thing that I noticed, which was not a bad thing, but for me it was a little bit like, not annoying, or like it was maybe like surprising, is that 2 of the recipes called for, sorry, that is not the right, yeah, like 2 of the recipe called for this like Italian herb chickpea melody, which was good the first time, but the second time I was like kind of over it, because at that point it's like for 4 meals, like that meal served 2 servings, so I felt like it was eating kind of the same thing over again, and that was a little like, I don't know, not like bad, but it was something where it was like I kind of felt like I was eating the same thing 4 times. So I think that to look out for like, what are the ingredients. I didn't know that it came in all these like separate packages, and then you use these packages for different things, because it was my first experience. But again, it just seemed a little bit repetitive with some of the ingredients. But I think everything else was really good. Again, it was really fast, which was really nice. I thought, oh, this would be really good to have for like lunches that are quick, because you could like throw them in and you could microwave them or saute them up really quickly and have lunches for a few days. I thought that the convenience factor was really good. So if you are vegan or even not vegan and you live a busy, crazy life, these things are so easy. Yeah, I think those are kind of my thoughts about it. I don't think that there was anything that was like I didn't like, or that I, you know, was like, oh yeah, I didn't really like that. I mean, I was missing one item. They don't resend it, but they credit your account. I think it was different for me, and I like that. I liked the amount of vegetables, I liked the tofu, I liked a lot of the salads, and the dressings were really, really good. And a lot of these vegan items are not that easy to make. They're not really hard, but they take time. And so like the cashew cheddar that already came pre-packaged was so awesome to have. The kale pesto. So these things that sometimes when you're a vegan and you're creating, they can be really expensive at the store or a little bit more time consuming to make, that they had these already put together for you. So that part was really, really nice. One thing that I did want to kind of touch base with, and I was a little bit disappointed in Hungryroot in general, is that just like in the other subscriptions, you have the ability to skip weeks, and I was on vacation. It's been a crazy summer, and typically you get like an email from these services that say like you can edit, you have a few more days to edit your box or skip it, and you have that a lot of time. Hungryroot didn't really have that, and so, and even the email that they sent was the last day that I could edit it. And I have to say, like, the title of the email wasn't even related to editing or skipping the week. And so, and it was like, I got it in the afternoon, so I only had till 5 o'clock that day. So I got this box that I wasn't expecting, and I did email customer service. I said I was very frustrated because if I had not even, like, I wasn't even gonna read the email because it just looked like it was an ad or promotion. I was gonna skip over it, but I was like, oh, I should just like read it and see what was going on. And at the very end, it only had till 5 o'clock to change, you know, my recipes. And one, I didn't get the opportunity to edit my recipes because I read it after 5 o'clock. And two, I didn't necessarily need the Hungryroot for that week. It was like the week before I was leaving for vacation, and I was trying to just get through what was in my fridge, so I had all this extra food. So I was a bit disappointed, and I did tell them that. I emailed them. They were sorry about it, and that was about it. I really had to push and be like, I think I even sent an email at the, like, how just, like, they were like, we're really sorry, we didn't know how that happens, you should be getting emails. And I was just like, no, that's not okay. Like, I'm upset about this. These are not things that I would normally eat. Like, you know. And so after a few conversations of going back, she did offer me 50% off, because I was like, I don't want that box. Like, I don't want it. And she was like, we're really sorry, like, we'll credit you 50% back to your credit card or whatever. So I mean, that was nice, but it did take a little bit of that. And I just think that if you do Hungry, you kind of have to be on top of it if you want to skip a week. And it was in the craziness of summer vacations and traveling, and I'm doing all these meal subscription services. So I mean, part of it is like, maybe should have paid attention, but I don't think that their email is really clear on like your meal coming up. I think it just was a little bit hidden, and not that they did it on purpose, but like, I think it needs to stand out a little bit more. So overall, I like it. I would try it again. I think it'd be a really good for me, like during the school year, because I feel like a lot of those would be really good for lunches. I love that they were under 500 calories. Like, it was so nice to have these meals that I knew that I could whip up really quickly, and the calorie count was really low, and I was getting a lot of vegetables and fresh items. So I am going to try this again when the school year resumes, because I think it'll fit in really, really nicely into my my routine. And again, if you are not vegan, do not be afraid to try it out. It is good, and it is healthy, and it was yummy. So I challenge you, if you're not a vegan and you have not eaten vegan before, to check it out. You might as well. I will leave a link down below about more information and a code to get a discount off your first Hungryroot box. So I hope you enjoyed this series, you guys. I had so much fun trying different recipes, cooking in the kitchen, and trying things I don't necessarily see that often, and I wanted to review. So it was a lot of work, but I enjoyed doing it. It was my first kind of series, and I really do hope you enjoy it. Please give it a thumbs up. If you missed my previous two about Home Chef and Marley and Spoon, I will leave those down below and watch those so you can see those also. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.